Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. I just wanted to come for a couple of reasons, and one is just sharing with the community that a few days ago I got word that I tested positive for COVID-19. And I will tell you, I was shocked because my symptoms have really just been kind of like a bad head cold. And I took the test just out of precaution and I kept going with my days thinking, oh, for sure that's going to come back negative because I had tested negative many other times. And I'll tell you, people's first response is usually, do you know where you got it? And I don't know for sure. I can tell you that I've taken other risks previously, like I was going to the gym. I had gone out to a bar for my birthday, and those were not the times that I got it. Those were long enough ago, but the state of Minnesota has been on lockdown, and I've been following all of those rules. And during that time is when I would have contracted it. So we've narrowed it down to a couple of possibilities, but we don't really know. And what I wanted to come here and just say, first of all, thank you for those of who already know and have been reaching out and just checking in to see how I'm doing. I still am basically, it's like a bad head cold for me, and now I've lost my taste of my sense of taste. But otherwise, it's just been coughing and a little bit of tiredness. But here is something that really I did not expect, besides getting a positive diagnosis. What I did not expect, something that happened pretty quickly, is that I dealt with a lot of shame and guilt. And I felt shame because I felt like I did something wrong. I should have known better. I'm to blame here. And although there's truth to that because something happened and I got it, I really was following the rules that the state of Minnesota had put out. And so it's frustrating, you can look and see some people don't follow any rules at all. They don't wear masks and they're out and they're not all getting sick. Some of them are getting sick. Anyway, it is what it is. But the sense of shame and then of guilt for having possibly exposed family members in the house that I'm staying in was really heavy. And one of the big reasons I wanted to come here and share is because I want to encourage you, number one, if you have gotten COVID and you have felt this way, I just want to say, number one, you're not alone. And number two, these emotions, although it's true because we don't want to hurt anybody that we love, the reality is probably you didn't do something wrong. It hits us sometimes. We think that possibly I got it from a contractor who came in the house who later got sick. We don't know for sure though. And regardless, I just want to say to you, when you're not feeling good, to have that extra weight of shame or guilt heaped on you is just not helpful. And I also want to encourage you that if you know somebody who has tested positive, it doesn't help to tell them all the things they might have done wrong. It doesn't help to think anything negatively or say anything that might be negative. Then just support them. It is a lot to deal with. I was talking to one of my friends about it, and she's like, yeah, it kind of feels like, as if you got an STD, which also there shouldn't be shame around that, and you have to call the partners and be like, whatever, because you got to think about anybody who you might have been exposed to or to during your incubation period. But I mean, in my world, actually, that was only the people that I'm living with. And then I've been in public places, but no other personal contact. So anyway, I also will just answer a few questions because a lot of people ask just about the process of COVID, and every state handles things a little bit differently. But in the state of Minnesota, how it's happening right now is that they take from the day you first feel symptoms, they go back 2 days, and they say that's when you are first, that you could be exposing other people and be contagious. And then you go 10 days from the first symptom, and that's when you're considered in the clear unless you have a fever. And so in my case, if I don't have a fever on Monday, which fever has not been one of my symptoms, then on Tuesday I'll be all clear to be back living normally. And there are all different kinds of COVID tests happening now. So I did the one with the nasal swab, and I had to actually do my own nasal swab. So you stick the thing up there, and then you put it in a little solution, and then they go test it. Some of my family members have done the spit one, where you keep spitting into a little tube, and then they test that tube. So there's all different kinds of ways that they're testing right now, and like I said, every state is a little bit different. But so for me, I'm just now in isolation in these days, and I'm just trying to stay, in the room, except when I go to the bathroom, and then I wear my mask. And people in the house also just have to get tested and, make sure that they're clear. So they're quarantining until they know that they're clear. So that is how it's going. And just thank you, anybody who is going through this. Or anybody who's watching, just thank you for support and encouragement. Anybody who has been tested positive, or if you find yourself one day testing positive, just remember, like, your biggest thing is just take care of yourself, once you get that diagnosis, and quarantine and isolate at that point. This is what it is, you guys. It's a pandemic. It's super widespread, obviously, but I'm thankful that my symptoms are fairly mild, and I expect to have a full recovery. But again, that's not the case for everybody. So please mask up, try to stay home as much as you can. I know it's so hard. I'm an extrovert, and this is really hard. But I just keep thinking about what would happen if I had underlying conditions. What would happen if I wasn't generally healthy? So anyway, we're in this together, you guys. And my thoughts and prayers to anybody who is dealing with COVID right now, especially those of you who are suffering with it, like that you've got really tough symptoms. It's been interesting to hear, all these, once you share that you have a diagnosis, I'm sure some of you now will reach out to me and say, oh yeah, me too. But it's been interesting to see people's symptoms, like a lot of people are not having major symptoms. They're not having, some people aren't losing taste or smell. I wasn't until yesterday. I just started to lose my sense of taste. Yesterday, some people are just coughing. Some people don't have fevers at all. Some people have all of it. So it doesn't express itself the same way. But if you feel like you have any symptoms, please just go get tested. Because, one of the ways that we'll be able to help curb this is that people who have it isolate. So that's all my thoughts right now. Thank you all for your support and encouragement. And if you have any questions about COVID or this process, I'm happy to answer them. And I'm with you, anybody who has felt guilt or shame around this. I'm with you. You're not alone. We got to shake that off because it's not helpful. We just got to be healthy and keep moving forward. So see you soon.